Hello, good night, everyone. I want to have a discussion with you. I want to have this discussion because I find that people allow their prejudices and their biasness to cloud their judgment. I say this because I would have heard a conversation and seen some posts relevant to Jerry Weeks, alias Jerry Dan, and his attending State House for the swearing of Chad Blackman as a minister. Now, we know that Jerry is a DJ and he has a following, obviously. So maybe Mr. Blackman would have utilized him during his campaign and etc. You know me, I'm not political at all. I want to be able to tell B or D what you want to tell them. Right? But the thing about it is that Jerry would have paid his debt to society. And for people to comment and say, what is a person like this doing among such an august gathering? I felt really, really, really angry at it. That's the truth. Because it allowed me to know that people think that some people are lesser and some people are more than others. You understand? And I find that most Barbadians have this kind of inferiority complex to authoritative figures, to figures in authority. They tend to do it. They exhibit this kind of behavior. You understand? And these people eat, sleep, defecate the same as any of us. You understand? You respect the office, but you never allow anybody to believe that they are more than you, to speak to you condescendingly or to disparage you because you don't have a title. We are the same. We do the same things. You understand? So never allow that. And Jerry, all right, has done so well for himself that when I watch the people who are criticizing him, Jerry has done 10 times better than they are. He's come home and made something of himself. You understand? And I can say that he's one of the people that I can be proud to say that, I know him. You understand? I look to see that he can be a mentor to people. I'm not into the music that he's in. I'm not into that. I'm not into that music and stuff like that. But he has done well and he continues to do well. Anyway, I want to move on because I find that Barbadians tend to be really, really biased. I don't know. Either they love politics to get in the way, they love a person's background to get in the way. And I say this because today I put up something relevant to the chief medical officer. No, I never said that the chief medical officer lied. I asked the question. I said, well, if the chief medical officer is saying that 9 people were infected with scabies, all right, at the geriatric hospital, how is it they happen to come into receipt of a card, a patient card, not with a name on it, that says that 13 people are being treated for scabies? You understand? I have the card. The card is dated the 28th of May. And so this is before he even made his public announcement. You understand? And this has nothing to do with nurses. This is patients. Right? So I asked that. And from my understanding from speaking to people, the chief medical officer hasn't visited the geriatric hospital. My understanding is the minister of health hasn't visited the geriatric hospital either. So if these people are receiving information, they're receiving information second or third hand. So people are telling them what they want to tell them. And they are regurgitating it to the public. So if they're being misinformed, they in turn are misinforming the public as to what is happening at the geriatric hospital. You understand? And when I put this up, people got on social media and started to talk about he might have made a mistake and it was a couple of 4 people and we were shortlisting that you got it right, and they find all kinds of excuses, you understand, for this, right? Instead of dealing with the subject matter. The subject matter is that the elderly people up there are not receiving the accessories they should have. You understand? They're lacking in towels, they're lacking in soap, they're lacking in certain commodities. The nurses are being exposed to hazards. The kitchen staff have to bring in seasonings to help make the food palatable. The cleaning staff have to bring in their own disinfectants so they can properly clean the place. The place has a lot of cockroaches and mosquitoes, and they're saying not rats, but they can't say not rats because the permanent secretary was notified that there were rats up there, and he questioned people, and one of them spoke about it. You understand? So it is known. And this talk about not no birds, a picture was taken of the birds. So if you, CMO, don't believe this, or you're going by what people are telling you, go and visit yourself. The nurses want to see you. No, last, I want to speak on this Tint issue. The reason I want to speak on the Tint issue is because a lot of people are speaking up about it. And I have not said one word about Tint. And people ask me, what you're mentioning the Tint? To be truthful, I believe if the officers want to see inside your car, they should be able to. Right? The limousine tint is one thing. You understand? Normal tint, I see nothing wrong with that. So if the Attorney General believes that tint is conducive to crime, he got a lot of other things to look at. There got a lot of little things that would be conducive to crime. If you want to ban things that are conducive to crime, ban hoodies. Because if you're looking for something to do, I believe that we need a harsher approach to crime. This Molly, call the Sesame Street thing that he doing ain't working. And he was the person who, criticized, aggressively. You know, Adrian Buffett, when Adrian Buffett was the Attorney General, I said he want firing. Know that he has the highest murder rate in the history of Barbados as an Attorney General. What won't do with he? Tell me. Huh? Anyway, there ain't much I can say on this, right? It's just that I believe that a lot of things should be allowed to have public vote. There should be referendum on certain things, all right? Especially when it affects us, the populace. Instead of the so-called bigger heads, most honorable this and most honorable that, deciding what they want to do with our lives. You understand me? Anyway, that's enough for me for now.